What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So, as everybody does know at this point, I have been going back in and playing a bunch of old racing games, and to be honest, the biggest reason why I am doing this is, well, a lot of these old games I never really got to play back then, but also a lot of the modern games are honestly just kind of stale at the moment. So, like, you know what? Let me go back and play some of these games I never played, but also let me go kind of relive that nostalgic thing. Now, you guys are going to see one game I honestly never even heard of back in the day. This is Split Second, and one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to try this game was mainly after playing Blur. Now, a lot of people are saying these games are going to be fairly similar. I might do like a versus or like an or type of video on both of them. But this game I would say is going to be very different in a lot of ways. Now, we can all also say that each game, I don't know, man, if you can even compare them. And the reason for that is Split Second for me, I don't know if this is going to sound insane, but it's kind of going to remind me of something along the lines of like MotorStorm Apocalypse and how the map changes, or there's different things around the map that will change throughout the race. Then you're also going to have like the Burnout type where you are wrecking the vehicles. The insane crashes you'll see kind of do remind me of something you would see in Burnout as well. And then on top of that, there's also not going to be real cars in this game, which some people might not be a fan of. Even though, to be honest with you guys, I'm not really, like, caring too much on that, as I was a huge fan of Burnout. So I really don't care seeing, like, oddball cars or something in the game, or cars that you'd be like, what is that thing? Or you might look at that and go, oh, I can kind of see what that is, but I also cannot. Either way, though, Split Second for me, though, was going to be a really fun experience. I think I'm maybe like 3 hours into the game so far. And I gotta admit, guys, I am enjoying this game so far. I originally thought it was just going to be like races and stuff like that, but there is actually other things in this game that were honestly really surprising and fun. So if you have never played Split Second, or maybe it's been a minute since you have played this game, because if anybody is wondering, this game came out in 2010, which is going to be the exact same year as Blur. So yeah, this game is going to be pretty old, man. It's around 15 years old now, which is honestly kind of weird thinking about. But with that, though, this game is going to be way different than Blur, if you are wondering. And this is something I did want to explain here. So yes, you are obviously going to be racing, as this is a racing game. But the difference is this, though, is you are going to have a bar that you will get up from drafting, drifting, jumping. And with that, you're going to have two blue ones, and it is going to be full with the last one being red. And that is pretty much going to be basically like a race breaker in a way. And what I mean by that is when other racers are in front of you and stuff, as far as I do know, it does not work behind you. At least I don't think it does. From me playing the last 3 hours or so, I don't think it does. But when the racers are in front of you at a distance, you are going to see an icon pop up on your screen that is going to show that you can hit that. Once you do, something on the map is going to happen. Now, this could be anything, by the way. It could be like a crane pulling out something, knocking it onto the track. It could be a building slightly falling over a little bit with some debris. It could be a helicopter dropping something on the map as well. I saw one scene, it was like a dump truck, and they could drop like these little barrels as well that can hit the opponents. And this is going to have to be a timing thing, so like it's not every part of the track or something. Some areas of the track, you're not going to have anything to stop them and stuff like that, so do keep that in mind. Other areas, you're also going to be able to hit it, and like a truck will pop out and like hit them. You also see like cars kind of get destroyed or something and pop into the track, and other areas of the map getting destroyed while doing that. It is going to be pretty interesting, man. Like when you are racing and stuff like that and you have racers pretty far ahead of you, you can easily slow them down and wreck other racers' stuff, or you can save it, and you can also wreck yourself, which, to be real, I have done this way too many times in this game. In fact, I think I am wrecking myself more than I should be, but that's kind of just part of it. One thing I do like, though, is certain parts of the map, though, are going to have different things that can happen. I would say a common one is probably going to be the barrels from the helicopter, and then you would probably end up seeing like the cars popping out and the racers might hit them. You could also dodge this stuff, of course, and the racers on top of that also dodge it. Then you're also going to have the red one, which is going to be the full bar. So you have the two blue ones and the red. That is going to be a full bar. You can then do one of the red ones by hitting circle, which, you know, it tells you that in the game. But when you do that, though, something big on the map is going to happen. One thing I think I saw was like a big cruise ship sliding down like the main ramp. Like when they would launch it, it slides down and wrecks, and it could take out like every single racer. Another one was like a building that completely fell over. You can also destroy like part of the track. Like one had like a cruise ship come into it and literally just destroy everything in front of it. I think I took out like 3 other racers doing that. So a lot of these things can definitely help you. One, you'll see like a dump truck pop out and wreck the racer. Could be a really good way to also get in first, but keep in mind the racers can't do it to you. So you're definitely going to want to be paying attention and stuff like that in the races and all that. Now, I could be wrong here, but I don't think the racers can do the big bar thing, like when the whole map will change or you'll see like a big change in there. I don't think they can do that stuff as far as I do know, which is not a terrible thing, but they could do everything else to you that you do to them. So do keep that in mind. Kind of like Blur, they could use the weapons on you. This is obviously not the same thing, but it kind of is. I thought this was going to be a cool mix, how you're using the environments to help you win the race, which I feel like is going to be a different way to look at it, man. I don't know of another racing game that kind of went, okay, let's go take the race itself, let's go on a track, let's be different things around that track that can help me win. You could wreck other racers, change the track as well. Like, you can also find shortcuts while doing it, which I thought was pretty cool. What you will have to do, though, is have like a bar up so you can actually activate the said thing. And with that, you could use that shortcut. If you're quick enough, the racers can follow you. And if one of the other racers use one, you can also follow them into it. So there's kind of different things there that you can do. But I was generally surprised, man. Like, I do know a lot of people, again, might not be the biggest fan of this game, not having real cars in it. To be honest, I kind of like that in a way because it does make the game more interesting. And again, I am a huge Burnout fan, so not having real cars in the game honestly doesn't really bother me that much. And I feel like a lot of players getting into the game probably won't care too much for it either once they start playing and stuff like that. But I was really interested, man, because I was playing Blur a bit. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll find a split-second copy eventually. And I did end up going to a store and I saw it. I'm like, let me grab this. Let me see how it is. And I gotta admit, this game is definitely different, man. I really do think a lot of these games back then just, they really were focusing on different things, which kind of odd to me as well, as this game was published by Disney, bro. I didn't even know that. When I saw the cover, I said, Disney? Disney published this game, bro? That is just so weird to me how they did that. But if you are looking for something that's different, that kind of captures a bunch of racing games into one and kind of mixes everything up, I feel like Split Second is a really good mix. I don't know how people are going to feel about the track layout, which is one thing I did want to mention. What I mean by that is when you are racing, guys, like, there's not a ton of tracks in the game. When I'm only on like the 4th season in game now, so I've only went through 3 of them, and I believe there's might be like 3 or 4 total tracks I've played on at the moment, maybe 5, including some of the other ones that are going to be on like a time trial type of thing, which is in the game. You are going to have to use certain vehicles and beat like the timer and stuff like that, which is pretty dope. I did enjoy those. On top of that, guys, there's also going to be other ones you can do. For example, there's one where a helicopter is going to shoot missiles. You have to dodge it. And there's going to be waves there, so you're going to have 3 lives. You have to go through each wave, so there's going to be missiles like 3, 4, 5. The farther you get into it, there'll be more. You have to dodge them and get around it. You get through, you'll get points that way. It was a pretty cool game mode. One of the other game modes I really like, those, there's going to be like a semi-truck, okay? It is going to be almost like something you'd see out of like Death Race. It's going to be huge, and there is going to be barrels coming out of the back of it, and if you hit those, it is going to mess your car up. There is going to be other racers there. You pretty much have to dodge all the barrels. There's going to be like the green ones, or I guess you could say the bluish ones that you have to dodge, then red as well. And then after that, you pretty much have to get by the truck. You'll then get like a bonus thing. You have to do that until you can eventually get in first place and, of course, not wreck. This was something that was really surprising to me because when I first started to play this game, I honestly thought it was just like racing and stuff, man. I didn't know they were going to have other game modes, and there's probably more of them that I will encounter when I play the game more, but these were going to be a nice change and stuff, and I feel like with that and the racing really is going to give players a big difference, or a lot of things they can do in game, which I think is going to add on to the fun factor and the chaotic racing of Split Second. But overall, though, I could probably keep rambling on about different things in this game, but I gotta admit, guys, Split Second for me, though, and again, I never played this game back in the day. I never even heard of it. So when I did see something like this, I was like, you know what, let me go try this game out, let me see how it is. And I gotta admit, though, playing this game the first time here in 2025 on the PS3, like, it really was going to be a fun experience, and I feel like a lot of people would also love this game, and this might also explain why I do see people talking about this game a bit, whether it's this game or even Blur and stuff, how these games really were going to be completely different racing experiences, and honestly, I can definitely see that. Do stay tuned, guys, because I am going to do an underrated video on Split Second, as I do feel like this game also deserves it, as I do think some of these more niche games are probably going to be very fun, but at the end of the day, maybe a lot of people don't actually get to play them, or they want to, maybe thinking they're not going to be all that great, or maybe it doesn't fit like how the other games are. Who honestly knows, but I do feel like there's such fun hidden gems that a lot of people probably would enjoy.